All right, everybody. Welcome to that Crime Family official TV channel on YouTube. Go like and subscribe to that channel. Hit that notification bell. Today we got a very special guest from the Bloody Money music family. I'm going to let him give his own intro and tell you who he is. Welcome my new guest to the stage. Could you introduce yourself, brother?
What's up, man? Bloody Money Adonis right here, repping that Bloody Money clique. What's up to all my brothers? What's up with my big homie right here, Fat Man the Boss. I appreciate you letting me come through and holler at you.
Already. Now, where's Bloody Money Adonis from? For the people in Corpus that don't know.
Corpus Christi, born and raised, man. Born and raised.
Already. Now, what neighborhood was you raised in?
Started off in Molina and then to the ABC streets.
Already. Now, was you raised in a single parent home or both parents?
I have both parents.
Okay, and what was it like having mom and dad? Because a lot of people come on and they have the single parent story. I had two. So I like to talk to people who gonna say I have both sides of the pill.
You know what? It was all right. It was cool. You know what I mean? I was blessed to have, you know what I mean? Both parents. My house was a party house. You know what I'm saying? Like from Thursday to Sunday, it was going down at my house. That's how I grew up, you know?
Oh, really? Now, siblings, how many siblings did you have?
I got a little sister and a little brother. I'm the oldest.
Oh, really? So you was the big brother the whole time, all the pressure of the big brother.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Now, as far as elementary, junior high, and high school, since you're right here in Corpus, we probably be familiar with some of them. What elementary school?
Elementary, I went to Lexington. Middle school, I went to Tom Brown. High school, I went to Carroll.
Oh, really? Now, when did the music become a part of Bloody Money Adonis' life?
Man, probably when I was around 19, 20 years old. Man, I've always been a fan of music, always, my whole life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But actually making music, the one that inspired me was my big brother Flat, man. He was deep into music, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And, he told me, hey, you ought to start messing with it. So, I wrote a verse and I spit it to him. And, I thought he was going to say, hey, work on it a little bit more, this and that. But he kind of turned his head and he kind of pushed me to continue to do it, you know what I mean? And I just kind of followed him into it.
Really? And now with the Bloody Money family,
Mm-hmm.
what's it like being a part of the Bloody Money family? Y'all seem to be a very tight unit together, man.
Yeah, man, it's truly a blessing. You know what I mean? I'm proud to say that I'm one of the original Bloody Money members. You know what I mean? We used to fuck with on Hustlers. I still fuck with them. You know what I mean? Smoke Beats is my producer. That's why I record my music. We have a real good bond with them dudes, and they showed us the game. You know what I mean? They showed us what tour life was about. Back then, SPM was really popping. So they jumped on a tour with SPM, and we shot right with them.
Yeah.
We were going city to city for a long time,
Really, now, what was that like to actually be on a tour? Because a lot of guys do music and never get the experience being on a tour or having concerts. What did that
It was cool, man. I was young, but back then it's like, it was a different time. You had to really beat the streets. It's not like it is now where you upload your music for the world to see on YouTube and everywhere else. Like, these men really had to beat the streets. They had to go from city to city, show to show, sell their music, get your name out there. And I experienced it secondhand, you know what I mean? Because at that time, I wasn't fully invested in music, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was riding with them and soaking up the vibe, soaking up the game, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it was tough. You had to come back, hustle 3-4 days to make enough money to get back on the road, so you can eat, so you can gas up, so you can pay for a room. So it was cool. I mean, there was some bad parts about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you come back, you losing money, but you're focused on your goal and trying to get where you want to be. You know what I mean? So that's what happened back then.
Now, when you were younger, let's say before the rap music, what kind of music would you listen to?
I jam Screw, Zero for sure, Fat Pat, mostly anything out of Houston. Yeah. You know what I mean? Houston was always a big influence.
Yeah, very big.
Definitely so.
Now, different artists that you work with. Name a few artists that you work with.
Recently, I just did a song with Finesse 2 Times that just came out. It's called It Ain't Easy. I did a song called Mexico Connected. I did a remix. And I got my homie Rocco 956 and Big Los. They're real big in the Valley, in the Mexico area. I wanted to hit that side of Texas, you know what I mean, down in Mexico. So I had them jump on, and that came out really cool. You know what I mean? But other than that, I stay in my lane and I keep to myself. You know what I mean? I do my music the way I do it, and that's about it.
No, really. Man, we were speaking on Flatline. He's a true legend in our city. First off, rest in peace to the legend. What was it like knowing Flatline?
It was a blessing, man. That dude, like I said, before the music, in the streets, he was my big bro. You know what I mean? That man showed me a lot. He was probably the most influential person in my life to date. You know what I mean? Before music, besides music, you know, street. Flat was a real street nigga.
Yeah.
You know, and this music stuff, there's a lot of people out here saying things, rapping about things that they really ain't done. You know what I mean? And that's cool. That's what the music's come to. That wasn't the case. You know what I mean? Just especially with my music. If you listen to my music, ain't nothing in my music that I ain't lived.
Not really.
I'm not fabricating nothing. I'm not saying something that another man did. That's my life.
Yeah.
It's real deal.
Already. Now, Big Tiny, I was close to the Big Tiny. I did have a relationship with Big Tiny, man, you know. And he the one would tell me about Flat, Ryan, different things. Y'all out in Vegas, and he telling us, man, no, we really be doing it, you know. So, I mean, talk about Big Tiny, because a lot of people don't know. He wasn't really up front. He like the behind the scene dude, but he meant a lot to everybody.
Yeah, my dog Tiny, may rest in peace, bro. My big brother Flat rest in peace too. And I'm gonna say this right now. Flatline will always be in my eyes the king of Corpus Christi, Mr. 361. Undisputed. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Man, my boy Tiny was a good dude, bro. Player ass nigga, man. Player ass nigga, man. That's all. That's about. He was one of the coolest dudes, nicest dudes you ever meet. Fly ass rides, live that life. No lie, no bullshit.
Yeah, he was the truth. I got a new Tiny, man. Now, after we lost Flatline, you know, the impact is always bigger. People realize what you had when it's gone.
Yeah.
What was that like for y'all when y'all lost Flatline? Y'all know y'all gonna carry the torch. There's no problem, but without the general being there, what was that like?
That was a hard day. That was a gloomy day, bro. I have to say, that was probably one of the worst days of my life. No lie. Something that when I heard it, when I got the call, I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? That shit cut deep. Still does. Always will. You know, that man got cut down right in his prime, right in his time, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believe with all my heart that man was the next big thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But life's a motherfucker.
Yeah, man. Now, I remember he did a lot of stuff for autism, and he had the son with autism. Have you ever been around? I mean, how many times have you been around Little Man? How's Little Man doing? Do you have
Man,
any?
they're good. His boys are doing amazing, man. They're good. Yeah, definitely so.
Already, man. That's a good thing to hear, man. Now, music-wise, what singles do you have out right now? You just said one with Finesse 2 Times.
Yeah, it's called It Ain't Easy. Come check me out on YouTube, man. YouTube and on Spotify, iTunes, all that. I just dropped it. It's called It Ain't Easy. Featuring Finesse 2 Times, and on the hook, Tomas Christian, up and coming country singer, and the song's cool, man. It got a country vibe to it. I got the old one, Paranoid. You know what I mean? You can check that out. Videos out on that. Truth Be Told, I just dropped Truth Be Told about 8 months ago. Fresh Out the Feds. That's another one with a video. I got a lot of stuff coming out, man. Check me out. It's coming.
Already. Now, you had an interview at Z95 last night. How did that go with John Bell?
It was cool. It was really cool. You know what? Never in my life that I've been jamming Z95 since I was a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back when Heavy D and Salt and Pepper and Vanilla Ice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That should tell you how old I am. You feel me? That should tell you how old my ass is.
Already, man.
But back when I was a kid, I was jamming Z95, and to actually be called on with my music, to be on that station, man, that was a blessing. I really appreciated that, and it was really cool.
You know, and that's legendary because just to find out like what you were just saying. So you like me, you know how it felt to go from recording on tapes to CDs was a new thing for a while.
Yeah.
And now it's the internet. Mm-hmm. And to see that you went from all three phases to be able to grasp and develop the mind to work with it, because like I still have trouble with the internet, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you do both.
Yeah.
I gotta have somebody do it for me.
yeah, my wife do everything for me on that. But yeah, I mean, just elaborate on that, because a lot of artists, they just got in the game, but they don't realize what it's like to have longevity from the point of where we went from tapes to CDs to the internet.
It's a big difference, but I'll tell you one thing, and this is just from my experience, because I'm still learning the game. You know what? I did not take music seriously until I went to prison. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Flat passed, feds came pick me up months later, and I was gone. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like, it was a blessing and a curse. It was a curse because I lost so much time. You know what I mean? My kids grew up without me. I helped raise them, through visitation, and it's just hard. You know what I mean? Yeah. And but it was a blessing because I got my ass sat down, and music is what helped me get through. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It gave me enough time to write. You know what I mean? And to hone my craft and make it better. So that was the blessing part of it.
Already. Now, with the younger generation, this is something I like to ask the older crowd when they get an interview. A lot of the youngsters, man, we all had our ways when we was young and our parents didn't agree with things, but it seems like nowadays they don't really care if the rapper can rap good. Mm-hmm. It's about the most trouble he can be in, or like they say, the most bodies he can catch, And it's team to take the value of good music away. All you have to do is be a stepper, and it seems like you get a following.
I agree with you 100%. On these new artists, I like some of the music, but the stuff they talk about, come on, man.
Yeah.
We from the old school, man. Even if you do some shit like that, you
don't want nobody to know.
You don't. That's nothing I'm gonna speak on.
No,
you know what I mean? There ain't no statute of limitation on murder, homie.
No,
we know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that's not my forte. You won't ever hear me speak on nothing like that in my music. You hear me speak on a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I personally will draw a line. You know what I mean? But teach his own, you know what I mean? Like I said, I like some of the music, but it's kind of like you're teaching, it's young kids teaching other kids that, I mean, we come from the days where you got a problem, we're gonna fight first, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like ain't nobody trying to fight no more. They're ready to pull a pistol out and do something like that. And I mean, that's cool, but if you're gonna do that, make sure you stand on your nuts.
You better.
I'm a grown man. I know my consequences.
Yeah.
You feel me? Before I do anything.
Yeah.
Before I went to prison, I knew what I was doing. I knew what came with it.
Yeah.
I held my nuts and I did my time.
Already.
So if you can stand on that, you can do that, you're good.
Already. And that's what I was telling one of my partners the other day, that a lot of them, man, the little youngsters, they'll smoke you so fast because they don't understand the consequence. Now, mind you, you might hear about them crying in jail later on, but the damage already be done. Because they're so quick not to fight, so quick to get the ups on you with a pistol, Yeah. The rappers, just the young generation right now, rappers, Mo3, King Von, they were some of my favorite rappers, but I mean, like you say, we know.
They're talented, man.
Talented as hell. But the karma,
you know what I mean?
Behind what they doing ain't gonna let them make it that long.
Straight talented, man.
Yeah. And that's the thing, it's like, that's the way the music went, but I feel like it's coming back to original music.
I hope so.
Because there's no way for the game to survive if we keep letting the youngsters take over.
It's there ain't no end game with that.
No,
you know what I mean?
No. We'll lose every youngster we have till the game is over with. Mm-hmm. Because the biggest thing is the detachment from the OGs, them saying, We don't mess with the OGs. We don't know you. So the game that we used to sit up on the OGs and get, they not getting.
Yeah, I mean that's how I was raised. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me growing up, it's like if somebody older than me that been through it already can care enough about me to give me some game, I'm gonna open my ear. I'm gonna listen to it because a smart man will learn from another man's mistakes
Already.
and not do it himself and have to go through it. You feel me?
Already.
So it's like you gotta take that. You know what I mean? It's like it's just a different world out there.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
Now, what advice would you give an artist, young, older, just an artist that's doing this game right now that want to get out here and push yourself or believing in a dream that as soon as you start rapping, money come? What would you get that on?
I'm gonna say this just from my, from my perspective and from what I've gone through, and that's recently. You know what I mean? Know the business. Know the business. You're gonna pay for a feature. You want to do this. You're gonna do that. Make sure you got your business and taken care of first. God forbid you get somebody on with you and y'all blow up, and then what? Y'all arguing about the cut or who's getting what at the end, and then you got to pay attorneys. You got to do this. Take care of business first, man. If you get a feature, make sure you hit that label first and you get that release. You know what I mean? Business is business. And street business and the music business is similar, homie.
Already.
That shit can be real dirty, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Already, man. Well, I sure appreciate you for coming through, man, and giving us some of your time, man. We understand you're a very busy man, so before we leave, give a couple of shots out to some people that have been instrumental in your life and in your career.
Oh, man, I want to shout out Big Tiny. I want to shout out my big brother Flatline. Rest in peace, man. I love y'all and I miss you guys. I want to shout out all the Four Corner Hustlers. Like I said, I wouldn't be doing music without Flatline or the Four Corner Hustlers. I want to shout out to the rest of the Bloody Money Clique. You know what I mean? Y'all my brothers. I love you. Let's keep doing what we're doing. I'm going to shout out to everybody in Corpus, man. If you're out there doing music, man, stay on the grind. I'm going to tell you one thing about Corpus. Corpus is a crazy city, bro. They're going to hate you before they love you. They won't support you. The city won't support you before they do. But if you keep pushing and the music is good, that shit's undeniable, man.
Already.
You know what I mean? So keep pushing. So somebody tells you your shit ain't no good or this or that, believe in yourself, man. Ain't nobody gonna believe in you like you believe in yourself. Keep grinding. That's it.
Already, man. Well, we appreciate the time. Everybody go find Bloody Money Adonis on the internet, anywhere. You can find him on YouTube. Look him up on Facebook. Follow him. Like, share everything he do, man. Support a real king from the city. And we're going to try to see if we can get you back in again. I'll be going to H-Town a lot, so I'll probably hit you when I come up to H-Town too, man.
Come fuck with me.
Already, we appreciate you, man. I'm one of the legendary, first original artists from Bloody Money Music. God, dog, man. I'm just proud to have you in here, man.
I appreciate
you. You know, y'all really mean a lot to the city. If nobody give you flowers, we Crime Family gonna give you your flowers. You understand what I'm saying?
I really appreciate it.
Already, man. Now, Bloody Money Music, Adonis has sat down with the boss.
All right.